Next game we really want to talk about is Horizon Forbidden West, and there seems to be a lot going on here. And yeah, what can I say? I'm going to leave it to Alex to talk about it.
Oh, I got something here. Well, Oliver also looked at it too. So I'll compare and talk about the one thing I looked at. I just loaded up the game's intro on PC, and that one I don't know the name of the character. I'm sorry. The guy with the beard who talks to Aloy in the beginning of the game. They show a brief snippet, which is from that initial cutscene. And so I put it side to side with the game running on a 4070 here using DLA DRS and the game maxed out. And there was two things that I want to know. One is I can't get the footage to look exactly the same due to the color problem that I talked about earlier. Their capture looks wrong. But the resolution didn't look like 4K. Like really clean, pixel perfect lines. It's like softer. And so that's one thing to talk about the image quality here. Softer. And for some reason in this cutscene, the shadows are different, including the volumetrics in the background, which are affected by shadows. I'm not sure why. Oliver loaded up the PlayStation 5 version, and you saw something similar, right?
Yeah, so I have some speculations on it, basically, in part because initially I was trying to find pixel edges. And now after my 1 day of pixel counting PSSR, I feel like I have a decent handle on it. So I'd been counting PSSR for a couple hours, and I went on to Horizon, and I was having a very hard time trying to find those pixel edges. And I think because of the way that Mark Cerny in particular frames this title, and because of the image resolve, which is a little bit smoother, like Alex said, it is very smooth, but it's also absent of some image artifacts that we often see with other kinds of upsampling solutions or just TA in general. I think it's probably not using PSSR. And if you compare PS5 and Pro here in the one shot that I did manage to scrounge together with the PS5 in its performance mode, which is an 1800p checkerboard resolution, the detail is definitely higher on PS5 Pro. It's resolving more detail in the hair in his shirt, more of the skin texture. It's got cleaner edge detail. The scene lighting is also a little bit different. Like Alex said, there's that difference in the shadows, which is a little bit weird, but it is a cinematic shot, so it's hard to be super certain about that one. Personally, I think it's probably, if I had to guess, a 4K checkerboard, which would comport with the PS5 version and its 4K checkerboarded balanced mode. That's my suspicion. I can't say for certain, obviously. We'll need to see the final game. We'll need to examine those edges a little bit more. But I think based off of the way that it's resolving and based on the way that checkerboarding often struggles to resolve like super fine detail in the image, especially in the Horizon titles, I think that could be the case.
Right.
They're also talking about improved visual effects, lighting, and improved skin, and improved hair. For visual effects, I mean, this is kind of just a big question mark. I mean, I know they have that cloud sim that they're very proud of. They could always boost resolution there. I don't know. But lighting is kind of a mystery to me. I don't think it's RTGI or anything like that. Improved skin, improved hair. I mean, you can always improve skin shaders. Their hair looks quite nice. I'm sure maybe they could improve that further. But I'd expect the primary improvement here, personally, just judging from these images, to probably come from that increase in actual perceived detail because of, presumably, an improvement to the resolution of the game.
Yeah. Like, another thing to not forget is that Horizon is also like dynamic res CBR, weirdly enough. Like it can technically go below 1800 CBR on the PS5 base. And if that was stabilized to like a near flat 2160p CBR, checkerboard rendering, that would look like a lot cleaner game depending upon which scene you're in, right? Obviously darker scenes you wouldn't notice so much, but like anything with like a lot of grass, foliage, etc., you'd probably notice. So I would like... This footage is like, once again, a very tiny snippet, but both this and T-Loop 1, I feel like are just like somewhat not so interesting so far. I'm really more interested in the people that use that power for transformative differences. Like I do like if a game would change the way ray tracing is done, or
right. I get what you're saying.
Like
I think we've got to keep in mind that all of these developers are working on other projects, and these would have been retrofit patches for the PS5 Pro. And if you think about Yeah, if you think about the complexity, the amount of effort that went into devising and then refining Horizon Forbidden West's performance mode to actually rip
Right.
all of that work out
Let's do
and then
something
put in
else.
PSSR on the off chance that it's better, it probably wasn't worth the developmental effort. So this might actually be interesting in a way, in a different way, Alex, in that it's actually about using the extra performance for features and an image quality bump. But maybe we'll see something different from them next time around with their next actual first party title. But yeah, interesting stuff.